20 years ago, a neat little console came out that was very poorly received, even though it was portable. That's right, ladies,
because they had a handle
gentlemen,
built in.
and everyone in between. I'm talking about the Gamecube. Completely underrated console. And before you get excited, on the screen now, it's not a meme. I decided not to get the meme.
Thank you.
But I do love the Gamecube. This is a whole segment on why it failed, what it did, what it didn't do, the best games for it. So if you are after some Gamecube knowledge, we're about to smack it over your face.
Can I go through the sales?
Yeah, go through the sales.
Worldwide sales, 21.75 million.
On the screen now, we can see Shigeru Miyamoto in a lovely tan suit.
Look, I love that it had a handle built in.
Yeah, it's great. So you could go shopping and take your Gamecube for reasons.
Reasons. In the Americas, 12.94 million in Japan, 4.04 million in other regions. I read this wrong.
You did read it very
Worldwide,
wrong.
it was 21.75 million. You should have put a comma or something in there.
Well, you should learn to read.
The Americas, 12.94 million. In Japan, it was weird that it only sold 4.04 million in Japan.
Yeah, it wasn't very popular.
I wonder why.
Oh, I don't know.
I wonder if it had anything to do with like the controllers were quite large.
Well,
that was a big problem they had with the Xbox as well.
I have it on good authority from Josh Tunes in the live chat that no other console with a handle has sold more. So, you know.
I love it. Other regions, which are Australia and New Zealand, 4.77 million. So still more than Japan. That's really weird. I would not have thought it would have been that low.
Now, I didn't get a GameCube at launch.
No.
I ended up getting one eventually, but it really did. It was the first console that I didn't buy straight away or wasn't clamoring to have.
You and I got a GameCube?
Yeah, I do. It was about a year ago.
Not even. It was July this year.
Oh, was it? Because I loaned you the money for it.
We were at the toy fair.
So why did it fail? Why was it not popular? Floppy, do you want to kick it off?
Yeah, man. So it relied very heavily on first-party properties. They managed to get Capcom for the Resident Evil remake and Resident Evil 4, which was great.
Fantastic.
As well as the Metal Gear Solid Twin Snakes. Also fantastic. You picked that up this year.
I did. 2 copies of it.
But not much in the way of third-party devs came over. Therefore, sort of isolating a lot of people.
Yep.
Nintendo's first-party games were among the best of the generation, but gamers were looking for new ideas, something different. Microsoft and Sony were able to acquire far more third-party support, and that hurt the GameCube's library because their library just grew exponentially.
Well, yeah, you look at what games are coming out in the PS1,
PS2,
even.
man. It had.
Yeah.
Surely that must be one of the biggest libraries when it comes to gaming. PS2.
Well, I don't know. It's the most sold.
It's the highest selling console. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it was a DVD. Oh.
DVD player.
Yeah, DVD player.
Oh, we'll talk about that.
We'll get to that.
Another reason why the GameCube wasn't received favorably and at the time was thought of as a failure was that it had no online integration, where the other two very much did. The GameCube had no true line online support, and this significantly hurt its appeal. Despite the PlayStation 2's somewhat rudimentary online service, they were at least able to compete with Microsoft's more sophisticated Xbox Live. The GameCube's lack of online service was viewed by many as a missing feature, and this is the start of sort of the real. The battle. So we had the PlayStation and the Xbox and the Nintendo 64 previously.
Yeah.
And then I think there was a little bit of crossover with them. But the GameCube just fell way, way behind because it wasn't cutting edge. It was in typical Nintendo fashion, and I say this as a Nintendo fan, they play it very safe. They go, no, this is what we're doing. This is what it does. So they're really, really innovative, but then they're not at all.
Yeah.
They are just a really confusing company.
It really depends on... It's like they skip a generation for being innovative and then have a safe generation and then skip a generation of being innovative. And they're innovative and... Yeah.
I'm just going to jump in and take this next one from you, Floppy, because it's something I want to talk about because it's one of the main reasons I didn't get a console at the time. Lackluster launch titles on the GameCube. So the launch titles for the GameCube were Wave Race, Super Monkey Ball, Star Wars Rogue Squadron, and Luigi's Mansion. Now, 3 of those games are fantastic. Star Wars Rogue Squadron is one of my favorite games of all time. I played that over and over again.
I've got that one.
Wave Race is a really, really good game.
Don't know it.
You really?
No.
Wave Race, something blue or something. Super Monkey Ball, not a bad, it's a game. It's probably the weakest of the Nintendo GameCube launch titles. But Luigi's Mansion was sort of like what they were relying on. Now, don't get me wrong, Luigi's Mansion is an excellent game.
Excellent game.
But people wanted Mario.
Yes.
And I still remember at the time when GameCube launched, or was launching, they were making a big song and dance about how it was Luigi's turn, how it was Luigi's time to stand up and take the spotlight away from his brother a little bit. Luigi sucks ass. This is proven. You remember during the Wii U, there was the Year of Luigi?
Yeah.
Guess which year was
Nintendo?
Nintendo's
Was it the death
worst,
of the Wii U?
It was the worst performing financial year on record. The Year of Luigi.
That's got to be all of the Wii U's life, though.
My point being, the launch titles are really important.
You say that? Oh, sorry.
No, I was just going to say we saw that with the Xbox Series X and S and PlayStation 5 launch. You need to have games that are available to play. Otherwise, you've just got a box sitting there doing nothing. Look at the Nintendo 64. You had Pilot Wings, which was but you had Mario 64, which is one of the greatest games of all time. It's really, really important you nail that
I think it was
launch.
I think it was more important then too, because with the PS5 and with the Series X and Series S, you can play the last gen games. So you can get that console, pick up a game that's available, and still play your old games. You didn't have that choice.
No.
With a GameCube or with a 64. It didn't play the last games because they were a different format. It was a completely different thing.
And you also didn't have an online store to go and purchase games.
No.
So if there were, like, for example, Lackluster games, and two of them were really cool, like Star Wars and Luigi's Mansion, and everyone who bought a GameCube bought those two games, guess what? You're not getting those games.
Nah. Having said that, Luigi's Mansion is a great game.
It is.
I've never played this one. I've only ever played 2 and 3.
It's stupid expensive to get.
Yeah, it's so hard to get.
Well, not stupid expensive, but, you know.
It's just too hard to get. People don't sell it, and then when they do sell it, they want too much.
Yep.
Well, no, they don't want too much. They want a lot. It's not more than I'm willing to pay.
Speaking of paying, Floppy.
What else did they do? They lost Rare.
Yeah, we touched on
We
this
just touched on this before. So
yeah.
Microsoft purchased Rare and all of its properties. Nintendo had a chance to match the offer. They chose not to because they do odd things sometimes.
It's Nintendo being Nintendo.
They're one of the most successful companies that do some of the dumbest things. Mm-hmm. Sometimes. And then other times they make these amazing, groundbreaking decisions and business sort of proposals, and they just win at everything at other times. So people moved over to the Xbox after feeling like they were sort of betrayed by losing this game dev that had bought some of the greatest SNES titles. And you put in a note here that says, and fuck Donkey Kong 64.
Yep, because that game's trash. Brayden, care to comment? DK. Really, though, Donkey Kong 64, what an awful game. Has the most collectibles out of any Nintendo game ever.
I've got it. Never played it because I don't have the goddamn expansion pack.
Oh, really?
Nah, I need one. Everyone out there's got a expansion pack for the 64 just laying around.
I played Banjo-Kazooie recently. That game still really holds up. Really fun game. Yeah, really, really fun. Love it. This is an up-res version, by the way. This is not what it looked like.
What's next?
64.
What's the next reason?
Well, I reckon you should take this one, actually.
Age perception.
Actually, no, I'll take age perception. I was looking at the DVD player. Oops, spoiler. The next reason why the GameCube was not successful at launch or during its time in the sunshine. Age perception. Nintendo is for kids. We've all heard that argument. Well, it started here. The GameCube didn't have any real mature games. It had Resident Evil 4 and Eternal Darkness, which is very collectible nowadays.
I want Eternal Darkness.
Like, super, super rare now,
Yeah,
and
I know.
really, really expensive. Older gamers, and in quotation marks I put teens, went to places where they could have their faces ripped off and used as paper planes.
Oh, you mean Mortal Kombat?
Yeah, so basically Mortal Kombat 5 was on GameCube, because I played that a lot.
But not till much later, though, right?
Much, much later.
Not till they sort of got into the whole, well, maybe we should have some mature content.
Yeah, I still love the GameCube. I love it even more now, and it's known as a very sought-after console with a lot of really, really cool games, and it really is. But during the day, nope. It's only now that we've got the whole collection that people are actually seeing, actually, this is a really good console with a really good lineup.
It's like a cult movie. It's came into its time and gotten popular after its time.
And of course, one of my favorite parts of the GameCube, they released some HD chords for it. so you could play it. In
Yeah,
HD.
the component card.
The component cords, yeah.
They are stupid expensive,
Like
man.
$300.
Yeah, it is ridiculous. I'd love to
That's
have
without in a
some
box. It's just to get those cords. $300.
just for the component cable, and they do make a massive difference.
Yep.
Because they split that video cable into the 3 primary colors for the video, and
Yep.
it's just so crisp. And oh man,
One day.
one day.
All right. What's the other
All right,
reason?
next bit. No DVD player. GameCube.
Because you used mini discs.
You used mini discs,
Little
which were
bitty
cool.
mini discs.
Mini discs were cool.
They
I
were.
love them. They were great.
A lot less storage than DVDs, though.
Lot less. Well, the games didn't require it, but when you're going up against, say, PS2 and Xbox, which had DVD players, I know so many people that bought a PS2 to use as a DVD player. They didn't play games.
Because they were cheaper than a
Yeah, it was
DVD
cheaper
player,
than
yeah.
a DVD player.
Yeah, ridiculous.
But yeah, so DVDs were the latest technology at the time. Not having that ability to play them really cost them. Who would have thought that Nintendo, ignoring trends of the people, would want to financially hurt them? But they got that right in the end, didn't they?
No,
No, they
not
didn't.
in a little bit.
Never.
As I said earlier in the show, they're an innovative company and come across some amazing steps forward. But Nintendo is like the epitome of 1 step forward, 2 steps back. It's really frustrating at times.
It's odd, but yeah. Having said that, having said all of that, how good does the GameCube look?
Fantastic.
Like if you were to rate
fantastic.
sexiness of a console,
You want to see a sexy All right, I'll go get a sexy console.
no,
I'm going to go get a sexy console.
I'm going to start reading this bit without you.
Go for it.
All right. The next part is the best GameCube games. So we've got a collection of GameCube games that we think you should own. Okay, what have you got?
I've got a sexy console.
He's got a sexy console.
I don't want to reveal it yet.
All right. Oh, okay, this one. This is actually pretty cool.
So, Nintendo, well known for having variants of consoles.
Very much so. Look at the 64.
So there is a very popular baseball team over in Japan called the Hanshin Tigers. Very, very popular. They won the World Series in '98, I want to say, but I could be completely wrong.
don't
You
watch
can
a
see
lot of
it.
baseball.
Anyway, this is a GameCube, the Hanshin Tigers GameCube. I got in Japan my last trip there for like $80, I think.
Can I say it is definitely a cool console? It's not the sexiest one.
Are you kidding me?
Nah, not even.
What is not sexy about that?
It's pinstripe.
Yeah, like their uniforms.
It's cool.
Look
It's
at the-
not sexy. Sexy is different.
Brayden, is this console sexy or cool?
You have other consoles over there that are
Sexy, isn't it?
I dare you to pitch it, Townsy says.
So this came with, as you can see there, a controller, which I haven't been able to find. It also came with a jersey. Going box, these things are really expensive. Even this is a couple of $100 just like this, and this is a little bit yellowed. But I remember being in Japan, in a game store, and seeing this on the shelf, just wrapped up, sitting there. And King Kaiju was also in Japan, but in another part of Japan, because I was there for karate training. So I do karate.
You like karate?
I do karate.
Yeah,
Brayden,
good.
you know
No,
I do karate.
Oh, yeah.
I do karate.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he was in a different part of Japan, so I sent him a photo of it, and he just went, I've never seen one of them in the wild before. And I went, guess what? You'll see one because I'm buying it. So there it is. What a cool console that was. Nintendo really do some really awesome.
It is cool. It's
variant
not your
consoles.
sexiest. The yellow or orange one is the sexiest. What do they call it?
Orange?
Is it orange? What was the color called?
Oh, no, puke orange.
Puke orange. That was the sexiest one.
Bile orange.
Best GameCube games, mate.
Yeah, all right, let's get into some of
First one, Mario Kart Double Dash. Now,
That's a
correct me
readjust.
I managed to pick this one relatively recently. I've got
really?
it. Yeah, I haven't played it yet though. But correct me if I'm wrong. This is the only Mario Kart where there is like a second person on the kart. Yeah.
Correct. Yep. And you could also play 2-player like that on the same team.
Yeah. Would you? Is it any good to play 2-player like that?
I played it a couple of times with my friend back then.
Is
My
one
Nintendo
person
fellow-
just driving and one person just operating power-ups?
Yep, and then you can switch. So one
And-
person's driving, and then you can switch positions.
All right. And how annoying does it get?
Super. No, it's a great game.
I wonder why they only ever did one where you had.
But again, it's
had a rider.
Did being innovative.
Yeah, they did. They tried something new.
Something new, and it paid off. This game was great, but they haven't gone back to it since. It just looks like a really nice, polished version of Mario Kart 64.
It looks really nice. I
yeah,
like it.
and it's a super fun game.
What was our second best GameCube game?
Well, I always was going to be talking about this one, wasn't
Of course
I?
you were. That's right.
Metal Gear Solid: The Twin Snakes. That's right, a remake of Metal Gear Solid. Hideo Kojima's opus was remade specifically for the Nintendo GameCube. I regret not playing this when it first came out.
I've never played this.
Really?
Nope. 'Cause
It
I
is
don't own it because it's too goddamn
so
expensive.
pretty. You know, I've got 2 copies in there.
Oh, fuck off. How much do you want for one?
They had different cases. No, one of them came from our very own Dan McGuinness.
Oh, Dan.
I swapped him a Game Gear for it.
Actually, I remember that. I was there, I think.
That's right, because we were trying to work out what I was going to swap for it. And I said, hey, Dan, what about Metal Gear Solid? He goes, oh, just that, nothing else, right? And I went, yep. And he went, yep. Score. So he got a Game Gear and I got Metal Gear Solid. Anyway, this is
Mutually
great.
beneficial.
Twin Snakes is fantastic. I played it the other day when I got my Wavebird. Oh, Wavebird. I got a Wavebird off you, I believe.
You did. You got that off me. You bastard. I swapped you for a Twin Snakes.
No.
Damn it.
I paid you money for that.
Yeah,
We're
no, I'll give
square.
back to you for a Twin Snakes.
Anyway, this is fantastic. The original cast came back, re-recorded their lines. It was completely remastered from the ground up. Just a spectacular game made even better. I just love it so much. If you've got... it's come down in price now. It's not around $200. It's around $150. So
Yeah.
I've noticed just recently, GameCube games are starting to go on a bit of a dip. And I really appreciate you putting Revolver Ocelot in this cutscene, Brayden.
Yeah.
It's got my favourite boy in there. Good old Revolver Ocelot.
I like Grey Fox.
Do you?
Yep. I'm a big fan of any Cyborg Ninja, really.
Well, that's fair.
I like his voice, too.
Yeah?
Yeah, he had the coolest voice.
I like Revolver Ocelot's. He's a 4-way spy.
I
Soldier?
completely gave up trying to figure it out.
I'll sit down and tell you. what
No,
it is.
please don't.
No,
I've tried to watch videos. It just makes my brain
I'll
kick.
explain it to you. I've got it all up here. I've read it many a time.
All right, next one.
Next one.
We spoke about it and we've touched on it before. Star Wars Rogue Leader.
Great game. Have you played this one?
Yes, I own this one, and number 2.
Excellent. Both fantastic games.
Fantastic games. If
Possibly the best Star Wars games. Just
Yeah,
throwing that out
so
there.
like I used to throw out, well, I wouldn't say the best Star Wars games. I'd say the best
Really?
Star Wars flight sims.
Yeah, okay. Fair enough.
So like I used to be all about the X-Wing versus TIE Fighter. Look at that.
That's on a
Look
GameCube.
at that. That's
Oh,
a GameCube.
It's up-roasted.
It is up-res.
It's on up-res GameCube. Like I'm a big Star Wars fan. I'm pretty sure everyone knows that anyway. I loved my TIE Fighter versus X-Wing that I used to have back in the day on the PC. And I thought that thing was the bomb diggity, man. And then I played this. And I'm like, get fucked. This is great.
Yeah. Yep.
And I haven't played one. Like I've played the flying missions in the Battlefronts. I've played Squadrons. I still think this is better.
Yep. The best bit about this game as well, the very first level you play is the Death Star trench run.
Yeah.
That's the very first level.
You get in. Yeah, it's just like right in there.
There's
They
also...
give you what you want straight away.
Yeah, you're right in on it. You, of course, do Hoth as well at some point.
Yeah.
But then you've also got a level where you're going through the asteroid belt in Empire.
Yeah.
And you're shooting asteroids as well as TIE fighters that
Yeah.
come in. And it's got the dun, 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 and all the Lucasfilm sound effects.
It's
and
just so
honestly,
good.
as a kid playing it, I felt like I was playing the movie.
Yeah.
I used to sit there and try and get platinum medals.
I was
All the levels.
like, damn, I am Luke Skywalker.
It was, what a fantastic game. Fantastic.
Everyone that has a GameCube should get it if you like Star Wars. If you don't like Star Wars, play something else. Play Mario Kart. But if you like Star Wars, play this.
Now, Anto, our social media guru who's in the chat, also wanted to pipe in 2 of his choices for great
Yeah.
GameCube games. So the first of those is FZero. It's called FZero Extreme or something like that. I don't know. I'm starting
Yeah,
to
I
fade.
can't remember what the rest of the tagline
Anyway,
was.
it's the last one we ever got because after this, GX, thank you, Anto.
Thank you.
They turfed this franchise to the ground and we haven't seen them since.
I don't understand why. It's a great franchise.
Yeah, really super fast, hyperkinetic racing game. Very different from Mario in that it is a pure racing game.
Yeah.
And, you know, the storyline is, you're this guy, you want to win. You want to beat the other guys. And that's all you need.
It's, very reminiscent. Like, I don't know why they didn't keep going. Like, they saw what PlayStation did with, like, Wipeout and stuff like that. And this is, basically, Wipeout is FZero. I don't know why they stopped. Like, I think they could bring this back. And now on, like, HD sort of consoles and stuff, this would look amazing.
Oh, yeah. And just, the speed, that like, not speed, but like the illusion of speed while playing a game now would be fantastic.
I remember playing this, and you legitimately, after playing for a while and then looking away, I felt like the rest of the world goes so slow because you get so used to looking at this thing at a bajillion miles an hour.
What's the next game we got there, Floppy?
Next game we've got is another pick of Anto's. So I think this is going to make every person's list, no matter what. Smash Brothers Melee. Now, as far as no, I'm not a huge Smash Bros. Fan.
Yep.
I have trouble with these games because I'm an old man and I can't keep track of who I goddamn am on there, and I keep watching someone else. But from what I understand, this is
Floppy's old, everyone, just in case you didn't work that out.
Yeah, I'm old. I'm still pretty cool though. Just ask my mum; she tells me all the time. But as far as I'm aware, this is still highly regarded as like the best of the Smash Bros. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty up there.
it's the one they still play this in tournaments though.
Yeah, Evo. This is still the Evo one. Ultimate, I think, is giving it a run for its money.
And I think it will because it contains bits of everything.
Yeah. The single player in this was mind-blowingly good. I forget what it was called now, but like the single player, what was really good, you unlock some characters while you were playing the single player.
Yeah.
And I still remember I came up to the last level and Master Hand was up this stairway and you had to go defeat him. And the last 3 fighters who were left were, I think, Link, Zelda, and Ganon. And they sort of like looked at each other and went, yeah. And they all decided to go in it together. And they started walking up and then Master Hand came down and just sort of wiped them out. Everyone but I think Link or maybe Sheik. And then Master Hand was about to kill them. And all of a sudden there was this this blue blur just came in, and it went boom, and then it stopped, and the camera spun around and froze, and it was Sonic, and he went, hey, and like that was the first time Sonic had been in a Nintendo game. This was his first appearance, and I just remember, to use a sophisticated wrestling terminology, I popped my tits off.
Damn.
Weird visuals.
Yeah. Oh, man, fantastic game. This was I believe, first one that had the trophies as well, where you earn coins through the mini games, and then you put them into a gachapon. And I legitimately 100%ed this game. I got every single trophy. My friend and I used to sit there. This is when I was in high school, so we used to sit there after high school every day, playing GoldenEye, playing all these games, and just 100%ing everything. Amazing
Back when you had time to finish games.
Yeah, back when I had time to play them.
And thank you. I was trying to think of the word gachapon the other day. Couldn't get into it. You just reminded me. It's great.
You're welcome.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, this would have to be the one that Snake came into as well.
It is, yes.
Yeah, because the twin snakes got him into Nintendo.
Yep, you're playing in the island.
Shadow Moses,
thank you. And then you hear like there's warning lights go, and then the wall breaks down, and there's Metal Gear Rex just behind you, and it starts to fire.
I love Metal Gear Rex.
Oh man,
my favorite Metal Gear.
Yep, it's fantastic. All right, next one. You can have the next one, Floppy.
I'll do the next one. So next one, big fan of Well, I'm a big fan of it.
No, it's a big fan of you.
It's also a big fan of me. Resident Evil 4. So took a franchise that was known for static cameras, that was known for tank controls, and flipped it third person, gave it some motion, and just fucking knocked it out of the park, really.
Yeah.
This thing became one of the most iconic Resident Evil games.
Now, they've remade this a lot.
They've remastered
a lot. I still think the GameCube version is the best version. Or are you a Wii person?
No? I'm not particularly. I liked it. I like every iteration. I liked it on the GameCube. I haven't finished it on the GameCube. I finished it on the Wii. Mm-hmm. I didn't mind the motion controls on that. I didn't find them too janky. I played it again on the PS4. I don't have a copy on the GameCube. I'd like to get one. But yeah, once again, expensive.
Just got a correction from Anto in the chat. I was talking about Brawl, not Melee. Oh well, I'm loopy tonight. So that's a correction. It was entertaining. At the end of the day, if you were entertained, who gives a shit about the facts?
Next one's for you.
Metroid Prime, of course, appeared on the GameCube. I remember when I was younger.
So much younger than today.
Don't we get DMC? DMC. Run DMC will come in and tell you to stop singing.
And then we'll get some DLC.
Yeah.
You can download after the show.
Metroid Prime. This was the first one where they announced that it was going to first person as opposed to a side scroller, and not a Metroidvania. Dum dum dum.
A lot of people were pretty apprehensive, yeah?
They were very apprehensive.
Until they played it?
Until they played it, and we went, actually, this game is amazing. Spawned 2 sequels, Metroid Prime 2 and 3, and a 4 to come, which we haven't seen anything of. We also spawned Metroid Other M, but that game's trash. Don't worry about it.
Is that the Wii one?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Not a good game at all.
Damn it, I think I've got it.
And Lucky Last is possibly one of my favourite Zelda games.
And can I just say, first GameCube game I got
really
as a Christmas present from 2 of my kids.
What, recently?
A couple of years ago. I got it and I was playing it on the Wii. I didn't have a GameCube.
Oh, right. Wind Waker. What a amazing game. Again, likewise, previous to this, we saw a tech demo at E3 which showed a hyper-realistic gritty Link fighting a giant spider, I believe.
Yep.
And everyone thought that's what it was going to be. And then they released this Toon Link, or as they called it at the time, Zelda, because it's cel-shaded.
Cel-shaded.
So CELDA.
I love cel-shaded stuff, man.
This game had so much character, so much heart. It was just a wonderful game to play. I cannot put into words how amazing it is. The only thing that annoyed me when playing it is the second, what we thought, when you're chasing the orbs, and the second orb, you have to beat the pirates to a cave, and you knock down the wall, and there's a big fish there, and he just gives it to you. And then I went, oh, what? That's got to be...
A little anticlimactic.
There's got to be a missing dungeon there. And sure enough, they did cut it for time. Game Boy Dad in the chat has said Paper Mario, the 1,000-Year Door is a bit stiff to not make the cut. Yeah, well, guess what, Game Boy Dad? This is our show, and we'll make cuts to whatever we like.
Rough. I like Super Paper Mario, but hey.
I've never played it, so that's why I didn't make the cut.
I like the new one.
You like which one?
You did like the new one.
You did like the new one, didn't you?
I really like the new one. I haven't played any of the old ones. I do want to eventually.
So what else can you get for the GameCube that was really cool?
So Nintendo is sort of synonymous with peripherals. Little bit of little add-on.
Weird ones and great ones.
Yeah, and we're just going to go into a couple of, well, two really, really great ones. Of course, they had things like the microphone and all that sort of jazz. But the Game Boy Advance player...
that was a cool thing that they did.
Great. So you got this pack in. It had a little a base that you clipped onto your GameCube. You put a disc in. It made it so you could put your Game Boy Advance games into the GameCube and play it on your TV.
But you need the disc.
Yeah, much like the Super NES, Super Game Boy, where you could plug your original Game Boy games in there and play them on your TV.
I like that everyone has a handy coin screwdriver.
Yep. Well, that's what you could use.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a great thing. As we said earlier as well, really super expensive to get the disc now. Not so much the Game Boy player itself. You can usually pick them up for about $20, but the disc is very, very hard to find.
It ejects with some force.
Yeah.
I'd love to find one of those, but yeah. And how hard is it to find one that matches your GameCube?
Yeah. We Are Robots in the chat has also said the GameCube controller was pretty good, still preferred by Smash players. Yep.
Yeah.
The first and last Nintendo console to have trigger sensitivity. I believe so. We were going to do a segment on the show with GameCube. Oh, sorry. The best controllers.
Best controllers.
But we've had to cut for time because we spoke too much. But next show we will be talking about the top 10 game controllers of all time, and yes, this controller will feature in that.
Absolutely.
Pretty much guarantee that.
Absolutely.
Another thing that I quite enjoyed was the Game Boy Advance cord, specifically for the Tingle Tuner.
I don't know what this is, man.
Well, do I have a video for you? So you're playing Wind Waker.
Was it yours place in 1993?
Sure was. So you bring up on your screen the Tingle Tuner, which looks like a Game Boy Advance. You get the Game Boy. It's just a cord. Plugs into your Game Boy Advance or your Game Boy SP, put it in your GameCube, boot it up, and it actually has Tingle coming to help you, and use it as a second controller or as a second screen.
What?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So if you just skip forward
You know
a
what?
little bit,
This is
Brady,
going to be one of those things that you say it's cool, you'd never use it.
Oh, Lord,
you
no.
do use it because there's a whole bunch of games. So Tingle then helps you as to where the treasures are on the map. So you can see on the left-hand side there, the Game Boy SP popped up with Tingle helping you and playing the game on the right.
All right, that's pretty cool.
It was like an additional screen with something that you already had.
Yeah, okay.
So they use this technology with a lot of other games. For Pokemon games, transferring them over. Animal Crossing as well.
Okay.
And perhaps the greatest one, which Townsy has mentioned in the chat, Pacman Versus. Now, I've played this at some of the retrospect AVCon setups. Pacman Versus, I think I got a video there, Brayden.
Ooh, yes, let me have a look.
Townsy in the chat, is Retrospect going to be at the Toy and Comic Play? Cool.
Yes,
Are they going to have this there?
I think they will have to. I've got this game, by the way.
Oh,
Pacman Versus was 4-player Pac-Man. So at random, one person was Pac-Man, 3 other people were the ghosts. Pac-Man had to try and get all the tower pellets,
gloves.
And the others had to get be ghosts and try and capture him.
Okay.
And you had one of these cords and plugged it into your GameCube. Player 1 had the GameCube controller. Everyone else had their Game Boy Advance as their screen.
Okay, that's pretty cool,
So
man.
you're playing on the TV as Pac-Man, and you have no idea where the ghosts are. And the ghosts know where you are because they're all teaming up because they can see on their little Game Boy Advance screen where you are and try and gang up on you.
Oh, okay, that's cool.
This is such an
that
awesome
seems
game.
really unbalanced, though.
No, well, you'd think that, but it's really not because of the power pellets and it plays like normal Pac-Man. I've played this so many times. Such a great game.
When you did this thing with Animal Crossing, on the Game Boy Advance, did you just come up with quotes about how much of a dick Tom Nook is?
Yeah, I think that's what it was, the subtitle of the game. Animal Crossing Gamecube, Tom Nook's a dick. Yep. Yep. Yeah, really, really fun. You should play that. Oh, just burp. Sorry. Excuse me. Didn't even know that was coming. It was just a surprise burp. Yeah, it's that garlic bread you gave me before.
Yep. That'll teach me.
Anyway, Pac-Man. Pac-Man versus. It's a good pack. Brayden.
Yo.
There's also a list there of all the other games that use this bizarre peripheral. Can we just give
it is a bizarre peripheral.
A quick glimpse of the small amount of games that use the Game Boy Advance link cable?
Here we go. This is it. This.
Are you fucking kidding me?
They're all the games.
That's it.
How many of them use it well, though?
That's it. None of them.
Well, you saw the Tingle Tuner.
Yeah, no,
that Wind Waker one was awesome.
You can't tell me Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban doesn't use the
it
cable
literally
wall.
just unlocks new content.
Yeah. Well, what about Disney's Magical Mirror starring Mickey Mouse?
That unlocks new content and uploads items from another game.
Okay, but what about Hot Wheels Velocity X?
Ooh.
Hot Wheels Velocity X unlocks new content.
Brayden, have you ever played a GameCube?
I think my neighbors had a GameCube, and I remember playing
That's
something
a hard
on that a while ago. Like neighbors when I was like a kid. I mean, but yeah, I had no idea that it had all this like other little stuff with it, like the being able to play Game Boy games and everything, and the cable. That's cool.
What was the microphone? Was that for Mario Party?
It was for Hey You Pikachu. Oh no, that was the 64. There was a not Pokemon Channel. It was a Pokemon game where
I reckon
Pikachu
it was a
was
Mario Party thing with a microphone.
Yeah, probably that as well. And hey, it's Anto, social media guru in the chat, has said Four Swords Adventures used the Game Boy Advance link cable spectacularly, and I completely agree with that. That was a really, much like Pac-Man.
Yeah.
You used the Game Boy Advance plugged in as a controller.
Mario Party 6 and pinball voice control.